Hey, what's going on, TikTok? It's your boy Uche with another video. Today's video, before I get started with this video, I do want to give a genuine thank you to every single person who supports me, who understands my genuineness. They understand my heart, they understand my spirit, my authenticity. They see the value and worth in everything that I'm doing. Um, and I know a lot of y'all watch silently. Some of y'all have never reached out to me. Yeah, I don't expect anyone to reach out to me, including the people who've also reached out to me, the DMs and the messages, phone calls, texts, all of that. And also the people who are watching silently, because I know a lot of people are watching me silently. Um, and um, and I know that what I do is genuine. It's not I think, it's not I feel, it's not I believe. I know for sure it's genuine. I for the past 3 years, almost 4 years now, I've given out my heart, poured out my heart on the internet. I don't think I know anyone who's been more vulnerable than I have been. Like the entirety of my life is on the internet. All of me, family issues, personal issues, mental health issues, all kinds of stuff. I've been very vocal, very honest, very transparent, 100% on the internet. So thank you to every single one who sees the value, who sees the worth, who supports me. I really genuinely do appreciate every single one of you guys. Of course, you'll always have the people who are in the back, the low IQ clowns in the back who will talk and try to you're not doing right if you don't have people who will try to oppose you. It's just the way what I would say. Everyone had haters. So inevitably, yeah, it's part of the being process, I guess. Every single person who has been successful in life will always have people who will see you and roll their eyes and gossip and try to kill your energy. But we ain't checking for them people, okay? But anyway, thank you to every single one of you guys. I really do appreciate it. But today I want to talk about why I do what I do. I interviewed one of the people I interviewed a few months ago that I'm using for one of my projects that I'm working on. Dr. Lulu, she mentioned smart people learn from their mistakes. Smarter people learn from other people's mistakes. I've been through a lot. At 31 years old, I've had 31 years of experience. Of course, some of the earlier years I don't really fully remember, but I know that I have done a lot of things that I shouldn't have done, said a lot of things that I shouldn't have said, gone to a lot of places that I shouldn't have gone to, been with a lot of people I shouldn't have been with. All kinds of things that I've learned from right now. And in as much as those things now, I recognize that I shouldn't have done them. I am humble and intelligent enough to recognize that I appreciate those because, without those mistakes, I wouldn't be who I am today. But the point is that I've made a lot of mistakes and I've learned from a lot of my mistakes. Hence why I'm here to educate younger versions of myself so you don't have to make the same mistakes that I've made. And if I had a version of me right now, right here, talking to a younger version of me back then, perhaps I wouldn't have made some of those mistakes because some of those mistakes have been costly. And I'm not just talking financially as well, mentally, spiritually, physically, all kinds of stuff that I've learned from them. Hence why I do what I do. It's a noble thing to do, whether you recognize it or not. I know that is a noble thing to do. Hence why I appreciate the people who recognize it and support me. But one of the things that I know a lot of us, by us, I'm talking about humans in general, but specifically minorities, especially even immigrant minorities, because we live in foreign countries, right? That is not home. One of the things that we struggle with oftentimes is the topic of tribe. You got to find your own tribe. You got to find your own tribe. I've talked about that multiple times. And sometimes I'll also interchangeably use language, people who speak your language. And of course, when I talk about language, I don't talk about language as in literal. Language is here. You got people whom with them as 1 + 1 = 1. If it is not 1 + 1 = 1, then they're not your tribe. Most people you're going to meet are going to be people 1 + 1 = 2, and that's okay. And you need to react to them pragmatically and realistically as such. But unless they are 1 + 1 = 1, they're not your tribe. And the interesting thing about this tribe is a lot of us, we grew up in families. A lot of us have families that are broken. A lot of our parents didn't teach us that. They didn't teach us love. We have no idea what love is. If anything, our parents taught us how to hate ourselves. And we had to navigate through that self-hatred. We had to find a way to heal and try to look for who we are, define love in our own way, and find who we are, right? A lot of us, as a result, we go out into the world unprepared because our society, our parents didn't teach us, they didn't prepare us. The society is not preparing us for shit apart from capitalism and narcissism. So a lot of us, we out there doing all kinds of things, just trying to desperately fit in, and we, as a result, we embraced everything and everyone, because we didn't understand the importance of tribe. We thought that everyone was our tribe because we were trying so desperately to survive and heal that pain that we had inside of us. But the interesting thing about tribe is that you don't look for tribe; it comes to you. Think about it like this. Imagine you are a kid and you live at home with your mother, and you and your mother, you have a store or a shade that, where she sells things, and your mother, both of you always sell things in that store. And then one day your mother is out sick and she tells you, you know what, son or daughter, you're going to be the only one watching the shade today or the store today. And she gives instructions on how to run the shade without her. And then she tells you someone special is coming today. In this store, you're used to having people, all kinds of people, men, women, young, old, everything showing up at the store. But she tells you that somebody special is coming today to deliver a package. And she describes this person and tells you, gives you instructions of what to do when you meet that person. And then she leaves, to go do her thing because she's out sick. And then you're there by yourself. What do you think is more natural or more reasonable to do? To leave the store and start searching for the person your mother has described? Or for you to stay in the store and hoping to recognize that person when that person walks in, and being able to differentiate that person from everyone else who's walking in? The latter, right? Exactly. Same thing too. The instructions of your tribe has already been described inside of you. So instead of praying to go out there to find your tribe, we ought to be praying to have the intelligence and discernment to recognize our tribes when we meet them. Unfortunately, like I've mentioned before, we live in a world that everything's so physicalized, right? Everything's just so physical, dead in spirit, and we judge people based on physical. As a result, we've missed out on so many tribe members because we're so busy, judging them. Oh, they're not good looking enough. They're not black enough. They're not white enough. They're not tall enough. They're too feminine. They're too masculine, things like that. Or we miss out on the people that have been perfectly calibrated to speak our language. 1 + 1 = 1. So instead of going out there desperately searching for that which the instructions are already engraved inside of you, we ought to be praying for discernment, understanding, intelligence to be able to recognize these tribe members when we come across them. But see, the trick to this though is, in order for you to recognize these tribe members when the universe bring them to your doorstep, you have to know who you are. You have to have spent time with yourself in silence to learn a lot of the malarkey that you've been taught, especially by society or parents or whoever it is that raised you. Inevitably, a lot of us have been raised to deviate from anything of who we are. Even if you were born and raised in a loving family, the media is always there to tell you that you're not good enough. So part of recognizing who you are is walking away from a lot of that malarkey and healing, unlearning a lot of that nonsense, and paying attention to the instruction inside of you that your creator, that your maker has already left inside of you, and making peace with that. And that is such a very difficult thing to do that no one even prepared me for. Hence why not only am I holding myself accountable to hold on, I'm also doing this to remind people that it's not easy. I'm also being vulnerable, telling people that it's not easy. Even me, I struggle with it, but this is part of the human process. It is not easy to remain in silence because there's so much distractions out there to tell you to be anything but you, to pull you away from that so that you can get lost in this world. But you have to fight it. You have to fight that distortion at all costs. To know who you are, remain one with yourself. Only then, when you are one with yourself, one whole, would you be able to recognize other people who are one whole, specifically and perfectly calibrated for you. And when you meet them and you recognize those people, it will be so electric because 1 + 1 = 1. That will be your tribe. You don't go looking for your tribe, they come to you. And instead of going out there, spreading your energy thin, looking for that which is already meant to inevitably happen, we should pray for discernment and understanding to recognize our tribe members when they come at our doorstep. Uche, peace and love.